How to do a silent hike. Silent hike is totally different than the regular hikes that you might have done. Silent hike is, as the name says, done in silence. But what is silence? Just not talking is not silence. Being silent is not silence either. Silent hike is where you become the silence. It's a very difficult concept to get, but with little practice it can be done. So to develop that state before starting the silent hike, I highly recommend, if not every day, at least 2 to 3 days of raw food throughout the day, only one cooked meal in the evening, and no spices, no eating out, no drinking. All those things basically cuts down the excitements of your mind. And the night before, if not first thing in the morning also, a deep reflective silence that you acquire through the meditation. So a deep reflective meditation the night before, and then in the morning, light breakfast, preferably just raw food. And when you start the hike, be in a totally silent phase. Silence means no thoughts, no desires, no memories, and no fantasies, no imaginations, no past, no future. Be in a simple present. Silence is not something that can be described, but it can be experienced. Until you become the silence, you have to synchronize with the silence. You cannot understand that. So not everyone can do it, but that's preferably the best way to start a silent hike. Be in a shunya state. Be in a receptive state. Be in absorptive state. So when you start the hike, the first and the foremost important thing is not to have any schedules, because on the silent hike you may end up spending several hours, or it may finish in a short time. With that kind of frame of mind, one should start a silent hike. Silent hike is done very slowly, one step at a time. The reason is there is no rush. The reason is you want to absorb every single thing that is happening at each and every step. And plenty of things are happening. During the hike, do not take any pictures with your iPhone or camera, because the purpose of the pictures is to share with the world, and then you cannot be in silence. To be in the silence means the world does not exist. Whatever is in front of you exists. So put your phone away, put your cameras away, and be ready to start the silent hike. As you walk, the scenery will keep on changing continuously. there will be always something for you to absorb, for you to observe. And you do it in the silence, in the full state of consciousness. Even if you put your phone away, your mind may be still taking pictures. The mind is also a camera. It is taking pictures all the time. But mind divides them into something that is beautiful, something that is ugly. It projects itself onto that. Then those are the mental pictures. Those are difficult not to take. But that's exactly the purpose of the silent hike. Not to take even the mental pictures, because mind will compare. Mind will compare what it is seeing with what you had done 2 months ago or 2 weeks ago. And you can say, I like this, I don't like this, I don't like this and I like that, etc. Mind is divisive. So mental pictures also should not be taken on a silent hike. Silent hike is non-judgmental. That's when you drop your mind and you connect with the consciousness. So when you walk slowly, walk gently, in a deep state of full awareness, the awareness that is springing from within. And in that state, everything is playing its own role, whether it is the fresh leaves on the trees, or the trees which are swaying in the air, or the leaves which are falling, or the leaves which are already fallen. Whether it is a tree that is alive, or the tree branches which has already fallen and they are dead. Even the judgment of being alive and dead should be removed from your mind. Everything just is. In that state of the present moment, we should do the silent hike. Non-judgmental, no labels, no life, no death, as we know, no beauty, no ugliness. Whatever comes in, you absorb 100%, because whatever is there is constituting and doing its own role, doing its own job, doing its own portion to make this total experience for you. As you walk, have a sense of gratitude towards the soil that you're walking. Soil is absorbing your weight. It's allowing you to walk, versus there may not be any ground to walk on. You could be on the water and drowning. So appreciate the strength, the existence of the soil that you are walking on. Appreciate the rock for its hardness, the soil for its durability. Look at the trees, appreciate their strength. And decades, they've been standing there. Appreciate their giving nature as they keep creating new leaves all the time. Give us the shelter, give us the breeze. Everything that is happening, you pay attention to it. A dragonfly is flying by. You observe it, how swiftly it is flying around. Bugs are walking around on the ground. They are part of this total picture that you're walking through. Mosquitoes are buzzing by, just shoo them away. But they are also part of this scene. and don't let that generate any response in your mind of inconvenience, uncomfortable state. Time to time, you should stop. Absorb the whole forest into you. Enjoy the fresh air that's around you. You don't see the wind, but appreciate the wind because you can see it through the dancing leaves. Same way, you cannot see the God, but there is God. And His proof is in each and every tree, each and every breeze, each and every insect, each and every mosquito, in the soil, in the rocks. Everything is His manifestation, including you. As you walk where there is no activity going on, you just stop and absorb the deep silence of the woods. Absorb the vastness of the jungle with the tall trees. Even if there is no activity going on, there is something to absorb in your consciousness. If you start seeing a leaf that is started to fall from a tree, watch it, how beautiful dance it's been doing until it hits the ground. That is the dance of life. Life is everywhere. In a subtle way, you see it being expressed, not just in the live tree, but also in the dead branches, not just in the green leaves, but also in the leaves which are turning brown and already have turned brown and fallen to the ground. They will be recycled to make the fresh leaves or whatever. There are millions of things happening. You absorb everything, because you can. If you remove your judgments, then your capacity to absorb becomes exponential, because now you are looking at everything with the eyes of infinity, not your limited mind, which has created likes and dislikes, this and that, full of dualities, live and dead, hot and cold. Remove all these things and just absorb everything. If the sun falls on you, you feel the heat. You're not just enjoying the heat itself. You're not just absorbing, you're not just observing the heat that is created in your skin, but you are actually realizing that sun itself is burning. Someday the sun will disappear. Meanwhile, all this energy that it has distributed is coming to us. So it's not just the sunlight, it's the sun itself warming up your body. So instead of having a judgment that it is too hot or too cold, appreciate everything that the sun is doing for you. Time to time you will see the sun reflecting on the surface of the lake. Look at the dance it's doing, the dance of the sunlight, sun rays on the reflective surface, sparkling like diamonds. There are millions of things out there. And you do all these things in silence. Gradually you will descend into that state where you can just become and remain aware. In a state of awareness where nothing else exists, everything becomes an object to be aware of, and awareness itself remains independent. Then all these experiences that you had will still continue, but now a new dimension will be added, and that dimension will be also observing you walking through the woods, absorbing everything that is happening in the woods. The whole process of you observing the woods will become and turn into awareness observing you, observing the universe around you. So a new dimension will open up. And in this dimension, you walk without any impressions, without any interferences, and let the whole process continue as you keep walking. The rustling leaves, the buzzing insects, the chirping cicadas, dancing, dragonflies, rustling leaves on the trees. All these things are being absorbed by someone, and that someone is you, and you are being aware of. The awareness becomes aware of your body, your mind, walking around in the middle of the woods, and let that become part of the totality. And that's when you become the awareness itself. That's when you become the silence itself. And that's when you sit down and meditate. You merge with the awareness. And that's when you lift yourself into the higher planes. These are the general guidelines. Experience will be different for each and every person, whether you are doing a silent hike by yourself or in the group. It doesn't matter, because in the silent hike everybody is by themselves, because they are ascending from their body to their mind, and then eventually to the consciousness, to the state of awareness. So each one will be doing their own journey. This is, in a nutshell, how to do a silent hike. Have a good day.